Hello, Pokefreaks, and welcome. I'm Amber.
And I'm Andrew, and this is
the A Squared Experience. Today is a very special day here at A2X because this is the maiden voyage of our little YouTube experiment. We're just a brother-sister team that bonded over playing Pokemon Red and Blue on our Game Boy Colors as kids. And now, here we are as adults, making a YouTube channel about Pokemon. Anyway, as we said, this is the A Squared Experience, where you can expect a variety of Pokemon-related content, including staples such as top 10 lists and gameplay, as well as some unique segments, like our next episode, which will drop on August 17th. I won't spoil any surprises, so make sure you hit the subscribe button below and ring the bell for notifications. You can also check us out on social media and Twitch.
So now, without further ado, we give you our first ever A Squared Experience, the top 10 Pokemon that everyone loves that we hate. Now normally when we do these segments, Amber and I will present one collaborative list rather than our own separate list. However, since this episode is for you all to get to know us a little, we decided to divide the list in half and each of us present a top 5 list rather than a full top 10.
You know, so we don't talk too much. To compile our list, we scoured the internet for a list of favorite, cutest, coolest, and other superlative Pokemon and came across a nifty spreadsheet. Reddit user MammaMia1001 polled over 52,000 people asking which of the 814 current Pokemon was their all-time favorite. They then ranked them by total number of votes, and we actually used that list to quantify the love fans have for certain Pokemon, limiting our list to Pokemon ranked in the top third by their findings. Alright, let's get this countdown kicked off with our ought-to-know visual guide, Drew Man.
Number 5.
Golduck. Golduck is alluded in several Pokedex entries to have psychic abilities. However, this bedazzled duck bears no secondary psychic typing. This is especially shameful considering its ability to learn some decent psychic attacks and its good special attack stat that enable Golduck to make good use of those attacks. No psychic typing, no stab bonus. So by no fault of its own, Golduck lands itself on my list. Golduck, I like my Pokemon properly typed.
Number 5.
Greninja. Okay, I don't hate Greninja, per se. I just don't understand the hype. The tongue scarf thing is disturbing and gross. But otherwise, it seems like a pretty cool Pokemon. My main issue with Greninja is its use in the anime. The bond Ash makes with his Greninja feels like a betrayal to me, because it consigns the ever-faithful powerhouse Pikachu to the sideline cheerleader instead of the battle trump card. Seems like if that bond were possible between a Pokemon and a trainer, partner Pikachu deserved that with Ash, not the passing ship Greninja. So loyalty and overhype are what put Greninja on my list. And that tongue.
Number 4.
Aipom. I'm just gonna say it. Aipom looks goofy as heck. It does. Its eyes tell the story of a creature eternally tortured by its own stupidity. Its stats are weak, its moveset is terrible. Plain and simple, I just don't like Aipom.
Number 4.
Shuckle. Every time I try to type this Pokemon's name, my autocorrect changes it to Shackle, which is appropriate considering how we were first introduced to Shuckle. Some scared kid guilts you into taking his weird bug full of holes to protect it. And it does nothing but take up space in your PC. While it has excellent defense stats, tying Mega Aggron and Mega Steelix for the top spot in defense, and outranking every Pokemon in special defense, otherwise it has the worst stats in the game. In the anime, it gains a useful ability for making medicine, but this doesn't translate well into the games. So Shuckle, Shackle, Tomato.
Number 3.
Incineroar. How was this the next logical step in the evolutionary line? Cute little kitty, cute bigger kitty, Tony the Tiger's roid-raging cousin. Not to mention, no matter how tired of firefighting starters we are, nobody wants a dark starter so literally dark that it's known to attack an opposing trainer rather than just their Pokemon. It was based on Japanese heel wrestler Tiger Mask, but that heel turned face, rendering the dark typing even more seemingly out in left field. Hate the concept and the execution, I'm not sorry.
Number 3.
Jigglypuff. Cue all the ladies saying, "But it's so cute! No, it is not cute. Kirby's long-lost relative is not cute. It acts like a spoiled child in every episode of the anime in which it appears. And as a mother, the whiny, spoiled, childish behavior is intolerable. Sorry, princess, people falling asleep when you sing is not an excuse to write on their faces with a Sharpie.
Wow, you're really mad!
Plus, Jigglypuff is extremely annoying in the games. When the player uses Sing, it almost never hits, and when it does, it rarely lasts longer than the 2-turn minimum. When Jigglypuff uses Sing on the player, it nearly always hits and almost always sticks around for 4 or 5 turns. So when you see a little pink balloon in the distance, run away and never return.
Number 2.
Smeargle, the less useful Ditto. In theory, a Pokemon that can permanently learn virtually any move sounds like a dream come true. But even if you get past the fact that if Sketch misses, your Pokemon can do nothing but struggle for up to 10 levels, Smeargle is still useless. Its attack and special attack are less than half of Ditto's, rendering it unable to take decent advantage of any special or physical attack it manages to sketch. At least Ditto can take a type advantage when it uses Transform. Smeargle remains a normal type with 0 type defenses aside from the immunity to ghost moves. So unless Smeargle learns to sketch some better stats or some new abilities, I'll pass.
Number 2.
Dragonite. To say Dragonite lacks the elegance of the rest of its evolutionary line would be a gross understatement. Dratini and Dragonair appear sleek, graceful, fast, and intelligent. I don't care what Dexter says, Dragonite doesn't appear to be any of those things. Sidebar. How is this thing a dragon and Charizard isn't? Plus, you encounter Dratini so late in the game, usually between levels 15 and 25. Then you have to level it up to 55 to get Dragonite. That's a jump of 30 to 40 levels. That's a lot of time and effort to put into a Pokemon, especially when the rest of your team is already up to par. Dragonite just falls short on the love for me.
Number 1 was a hard slot to fill, and the Mon that landed there was surprising even to me. I never thought I disliked this particular Pokemon at all until Amber and I were discussing the Pokemon to put in this video. My number 1 is...
Number 1.
Milotic. Yes, Milotic is beautiful, graceful, and comes with great special stats. It's a good, solid water type. But oh my gosh, the work to get one. The Pokemon Go version is walking an unprecedented 20 kilometers with Feebas, as well as accumulating 100 candies. Also, no easy feat when Feebas isn't the most common Pokemon in the game by any means. Sadly, Pogo's translation of the intricacies of evolving Feebas is much more simple than the original version. The original version was so arduous that only 2 generations after Feebas and Milotic were introduced to the games, Nintendo graced us with another evolution option, which sounds generous since it's the only Pokemon in any generation to have multiple evolutionary paths to get to the same final evolution. But their generous offering requires us to do the impossible. Make friends. Yes, the easier route involves trading, and not just a straight trade, a trade while holding an item, in this case the Prism Scale. So how bad was the original? Let's start with obtaining Feebas. I've not had to work this hard to get some of the legendaries in the game, people. Feebas in all games is rare. It can only be found in one body of water, usually consisting of about 400 squares in an area. Feebas can only be found in 6 of those squares. Which 6 is up to you to figure out by fishing with every rod you have about a dozen times each just to make sure, since Feebas still isn't common in those 6 squares. Oh, and by the way, they're also subject to change even after you find them. So now that you've gotten your ugly fish at long last, Nintendo is requiring you to raise its beauty stat of all things in order to evolve it. Depending on which game you're playing, this is done with either Pokeblocks or Poffins. You Alpha Ruby and Omega Sapphire players get off easy here. Pokeblock making was automated in these games. So as long as you use a good berry quality with dry characteristics, you are good to go. Those of us that started Pokéblock and Poffin making with the original Hoenn and Sinnoh series remember the struggle of making your own by hand with a series of critically timed stirs and direction changes. One mistake and your Pokéblock or Poffin quality suffers. Pokemon can only consume a certain number of Pokéblocks or Poffins, so if the ones they eat aren't of good quality, you're not going to hit that magic 170 on the beauty stat before they're maxed out, meaning it's back to square one of you finding a brand new Feebas. The Sinnoh series gave us one tiny bit of relief on the difficulty of evolving Feebas, but it is a costly one. The Veilstone department store sells Poffins in the basement, and as sketchy as that sounds, they are good Poffins. You'll need at least 10, maybe 12 dry Poffins to max out Feebas's beauty, and those will run you a mere 6,400 Pokédollars each. So yes, you can have your very own Milotic for a mere 64,000 to 76,800 Pokédollars.
Now I ain't saying she a gold digger. She ain't messing with no broke.
Oh, and you still have to level it up before it'll evolve. Let's not forget the final hoop. All that work, and you could have just fed Eevee a Waterstone and gotten a better result. Just not worth it.
Alright, Pokefreaks, it's about time to wrap this up, so I will close us out with my number one. Now, if we haven't ruffled any feathers with Greninja, Dragonite, or Milotic, I'm sure we will be inflaming the masses with my final selection.
Who's that Pokémon?
Number 1.
It's Blaziken! Oh, come on, you know it's true. Blaziken's feathers bear a striking resemblance to WWE superstar Tyler Breeze's outrageous costumes, with the bell-bottom-like pants, the vest. Well, except Blaziken's vest is made from its pigtail mullet. Yes, that's what I said. What would you call that hair don't? Add a man bun and a selfie stick, and these two might just be indistinguishable. It's not like Blaziken's the greatest starter anyway. Its stats are on par with the final evolutions of most starters, but it doesn't even have the highest stats of its own generation, much less overall. Plus, the Talon hands? How useful will those be in a fight when you've already got talons on your feet? If you're going to give a bird hands, give them a different function than their feet for Pichu's sake. So again, I don't get the hype, and I just can't unsee the Tyler Breeze in this Pokemon. Well, Pokefreaks, that's a wrap for today. Be sure to hit that subscribe button and ring the bell for notifications for new videos, and thanks for watching.